today. We got the what is it? Erryting Kool rub. It quite cool. It's quite cool here.
So, just let me know when you run in so I can start. All right.
All right, I'm ready.
Novice, you can't even be ready.
Huh?
Lord Jaylin isn't even ready.
Oh.
Like, I got to fill in for him until he gets here.
Okay. Let me read over these questions while you fill it in.
No, of course. So, it's me, Spida-Bey, doing my regular Spidey thing. Just trying to save the day. As I get ready. But the lady on the side of me she looks very familiar. I remember the last time I saw her was at not even my movie premiere, but it was a premiere of a character such as myself. Another variant. But she was next to me as the Black Cat lady.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know
clue.
exactly what I'm talking about.
I have no clue.
She has a clue.
I have no clue at
December 17th, where were you? At 8 o'clock.
December 17th, 8 o'clock. I have to check my calendar. Most likely, I had just gotten finished teaching a student at my house. Is December 17th a Friday or a Saturday?
It's the Friday.
Oh, then I was teaching my student MJ.
So what did we do 8 p.m. that night? 2021.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Oh, 2021?
Mm-hmm.
What did I have for breakfast this morning? Like, you want me to remember 2021?
Yeah, that was just about 3 months ago.
Oh, December 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I had like 3 weeks off from teaching, so I'd been drinking, and I can't tell you.
That's the spirit. But we was in the theater just watching that marvelous, you heard what I said, marvelous take on the new Spider-Man. They reconversion.
How did we go from that?
You still. All right. Well, at this point in time, welcome to Erryting Kool, and that's how we do the cold opening, and then we cut to our intro.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
The tourists come over to chill on the beach, but they don't come over the hill where we sleep. We got nightmares and they got fantasies. No sanity, it's just insanity. My mommy hoping nothing happens to me.
You should explain, baby.
So, me and you sat in Fusion's movie theater across from each other on the 7/17.
So you say.
Yeah, so here with the Black Cat, my halftime nemesis, halftime lover. Don't tell her that. Okay, so she isn't lost. She knows exactly where I'm talking.
I don't know what you're talking about.
remember
And I
that.
mean, even if I was Black Cat, why would I give you my secret identity?
You in your secret identity now?
I get what she's doing. I get it. Right. Yeah, okay, good one.
So welcome to Erryting Kool. This is Spida-Bey, filling in for Lord Jaylin Willard, the Nikas of Nassau, St. Entendre, Alexander, and all that good stuff. He's running a little bit late today. So he said, hey, Spida-Bey, swing on in and try to keep everything together and get me out of the sticky situation for being late. But as he always does, we always have the party in the backyard.
Yes, the party of one in the backyard. Shout out to Spida-Bey there. We looking to find Lord Jaylin Willard soon enough. But Otherwise, until then, me and Spider-Man go on the fort. As you know, I am PG Giovanni, aka PG-13, aka PG-13, aka your favorite non-bay, aka hidden in plain sight, aka too many AKAs.
Sometimes too many isn't enough.
Real talk. I gotta get a couple more.
And last but not least, we have our lovely guest on the right of me. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ashley Adderley. A lot of people know me as Miss A.
Miss A.
I'm one of the coordinators at the Geek Out. And we've been running geeky events since 2017, 2018. Can't remember. The COVID makes it hard to remember.
The COVID. Did you have COVID?
I mean, who hasn't?
Real. Yeah.
I'm
That's
negative
right.
now.
But
I think I had Omicron, which is like the Jigglypuff of all of the
I just got
variants.
bit by a spider. And had cold sweats. I was shaking the next morning. I woke up with powers. So typically on Erryting Kool, we have a particular segment called the Bahamian word, phrase, or saying of the day. And normally we like to give that honor to our guest of the day.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
That's it. She prepared notes.
Oh,
Hey.
the teacher in her.
Right.
They said a cat always lands on all four legs.
What is the Bahamian word of the day? Because I have early beginnings growing up.
No, any word that you would live, the Bahamian word, phrase, or saying of the day.
Oh, I'm supposed to come up with it.
Yes.
Okay. There was one that I liked that had different meanings based on how you used it, but I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. I posted it on Facebook and people were like,
Different
what is this
meanings.
different thing? Different meanings, and I can't remember what it is.
Let me go check this Facebook.
No, that was so long ago.
Oh.
I must have posted that in like November, December, maybe
Of
Yeah,
last
baby,
year?
we do.
of last year.
Oh, that's
We
easy to find.
do have some double entendre words for real though.
Oh my
We
gosh.
do. I remember I had a friend.
I wish I knew that I was supposed to prepare one. I would have had it ready.
I had this friend in the States where he said something and she get dead mad. And I was like, what you getting mad for? And because there was a loss in translation thing because Bahamians mean something else. Is it?
Are you talking about Bay?
No, it wasn't Bay. It was
Because
something
you know
else.
they often
It was
think
something
Bay
else.
is Bay, like before.
Yeah. That too.
What's Bay's acronym? Before anyone else or
Right. Before anyone else. But it wasn't Bay. But it was something, and she thought I was dissing her. But they were like, hold on, wait, nope. It's
you're trying to
a
locate it?
misinterpretation.
I literally am trying to locate
Yeah,
Y'all
I'm
keep
doing-
talking. I can find it.
So I'm doing a hard,
right.
Lord
Diversions.
Jaylin, don't be mad at us. We're trying to keep it on course. Normally,
I
it's
am,
better
I
at
am
this now.
trying. Oh my God, it's not here. Like it's.
And if you can't manage, just say anything in general,
Yeah.
honestly. Because more than likely, it could be something we had.
Okay. How about this?
Mhm.
What we just go?
We just go.
We
Did
just
we?
go.
Did y'all
We
ever
never-
had that
Nope.
before? Okay,
We never
so
had it.
for the international viewers and for all the Spida-Bey fans, please tell them what we just go mean.
It's me and me seeing each other.
That's it.
But I seen you now.
No, man, that's a different one. Okay. It means that you and another person have relations that are more than platonic.
Intercourse with you.
Just
Maybe not. It
Relations.
might not go as far as intercourse,
Mhm.
but it probably leading to that path.
Like
Right,
intercourse with you. Relations.
This way.
You obsessed with intercourse.
No, you don't catch the Family Guy reference. Intercourse
I got
with
it.
you. Just go look up Stewie and Brian.
Hit song.
and some probably singing lessons, maybe.
Mm. Well, I'm a crime fighter, not a singer.
Man.
You should stick to crime fighting.
Yeah.
But I'm more of a fighter than a lover. Don't you notice that every time I find love, I end up like either breaking their neck
I
or
noticed
breaking their back? I'm trying
Should
to.
probably leave the gal them alone.
Man.
That's why I gotta mess with the superhero gal.
Probably.
So, early beginnings, Miss Ashley. Like, what is your genesis? What is your Uncle Ben story?
My Uncle Ben story.
Yes. Like, what was that turning moment? You know, you are a very powerful woman, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your genesis story?
I think. Okay, well, let me. I'm thinking that my genesis story is like when we like started hosting like small movie nights for like cult classics, weird films, anime, and
Not just there yet, but like, what sort of was the? Well, how did you develop into the person you are, and then to
Oh,
get-
for me, like
Yeah.
me personally.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know. But okay. Well, I would have to say it was definitely the travel. I'm still an introverted person. I've done a lot of travel. I think in around 2011, I just was kind of like, let me get off this beeping rock.
Mhm.
And I went to China and I basically traveled around China, Harbin, Beijing, Shanghai, Wuhan, all over the place. And it really opened my eyes as to the fact that people could behave this way.
What way in particular?
Chinese culture is just different. Chinese culture is just different. But it really just opened my eyes to what the world has to offer. And it really made me realize that we take ourselves entirely too seriously. Like, you think that you getting out on the dance floor and dancing, even though you can't dance, is the end of the world. But when you see the world for what it actually is, you're just a speck in the universe. So, eat the cake, do the dance, do the thing, you're literally just a blip in this universe. So it's not as big of a deal as you
Made it
expect
to be,
it to
yeah.
be. And I think traveling really opened my eyes to that, because it's like just seeing how different just a group of people can be on the same planet just made you realize just how small and insignificant you are. So do the thing, because you small and insignificant anyway.
I'm just an itsy bitsy spider. I'm up the water spout.
Maybe.
So from traveling, then, so what was life, career wise, being back, like traveling, having this grand perspective, but having a small island reality? How did you sort of juggle that?
Can you explain the question?
So you getting this broad perspective, but you're living in the Bahamas, which sort of everything is sort of shaped in a box.
Oh, you mean
The small-mindedness.
the small-mindedness is a hurdle. It definitely is a hurdle. But I try to be the change I want to see. Like, if I don't like what's being offered in Nassau, why not offer it? If I don't like what I see, why not speak up against it? How can you find it in yourself to complain about something that you're not going to do anything about? Like, in my personal opinion and the way I run my life, sit small or do something about it.
Sit small until your name called. Like the Bahamians like to say.
Or call your own name.
She's speaking now. So, doing that, so in the daytime, I was told that you're an educator.
Yes, I'm actually an English tutor. So I teach English as a second language to foreign expats. And I also teach adults how to read. And as of recent, because of the pandemic, children.
Oh, wow.
I didn't always teach children, but
So this has been your baseline career since
2012.
Okay. That's dope. So moving along to you starting these events, the Geek Out person, what inspired you to say, hey, I know this isn't familiar ground in this space. Let me try my hand and bring something new to the landscape. And did you like host events before? Or
Yeah, we've hosted a couple of failed events before,
like non-Geek Out related?
non-Geek Out related
Okay.
events. But they were so integral in knowing how to host the Geek Out. We had was it 2 failed pool parties?
Two
Two-
failed. What you mean?
No,
two?
it was 1 failed pool party and 2 failed glow in the dark parties.
Okay, well, why they were failures?
Huh?
Why were they failures?
Not enough people to make your money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you go around, you look for sponsors to try and, even out that cost. So if you can get someone to sponsor tents to your event, you don't have to go in your pocket to get tents. If you can get someone to sponsor the venue, then you don't have to go in your pocket to pay the venue. And God, venues.
That's a conversation for me.
Man.
But we had I think we started in 2016 hosting events. Yeah.
So was we. Does it sound like
me and Edward Dean.
Okay.
Me and Edward Dean. Edward's my spa, man. That's my friend from high school. Like when I said I wanted to start a band, he was right there. Like, I'm gonna learn to play the drums. I say, let's host events. He's like, let's go, let's do it. Because he was used to risk management. He used to do risk management for other promoters. And so then we decided to just do it for ourselves. I used to design flyers for other promoters. And so we just pooled our resources and started failing at hosting events.
I feel as though every superhero must fail before they succeed.
Everybody must fail before they succeed. And that's the difference between becoming the hero or the villain.
Right.
You either ruminate in that failure or look for success.
So, take us because I have notes from Lord Jaylin, and he extensively researched your history going all the way back to the formation of the pages on Facebook. But you're saying that the Geek Out officially started in 2017?
I have to check the first flyer, but I do think it started in 2017, like late 2017, if not 2018. I can't recall because our Instagram got hacked in the early days.
Okay.
And so a lot of the stuff was just lost, and Instagram wasn't really helping us get it back because we had 70 followers at the time. So I had to restart it under the Geek Out 242. It was originally the Geek Out because I wanted it to be more international, but then it got hacked. So I had to save all my other handles as the Geek Out 242. So, but I guess I'll check that later. But I do think it was late 2017 or 2018 when we started.
So late 2018, you're saying?
Around that. I'm not sure, but I know it's not 2016 and I know it's not 2019.
Okay. All right. So 2018, so much, 2017, 2018, that's when the Lord came back to Nassau. And he viewed the landscape as very Bahamian culture coming so far as it pertains to the creative aspect. You right, VG?
Yeah, man, I get it. That's all a joke.
So, how do you feel? So, what made y'all think that this was the time now to start trying to push geek-oriented events? Do you feel like you looked at the creative space and how far ahead along they came about? Or?
No, we didn't do anything like that. We just liked anime and we were like, we need more anime friends. So it was more for ourselves, to be honest. Host a movie night, get the anime community together. But, it really was not working. The anime community was just we don't want to come.
They was telling you that personally?
Not personally, but I think our first ever event had 14 people. And then after that, every Thursday, because we used to do it every Thursday, it would get 2 people. And then we just was kind of sitting there I wonder if we should just give up.
So tell me more about what caused you not to give up. What was that one triumphant moment to be I think
Fusion Superplex.
Oh, you talking about when they brought Dragon Ball Super?
When they brought Dragon Ball Super, we literally was I think Fusion Superplex was still building while we were hosting the Geek Out. I remember that. Like they hadn't quite opened as yet, if I'm not mistaken. And we were literally like just about to give up because we were like, only 2 or 3 people are showing up. Where I don't know, like I've been promoting it and I've been doing different things and people just aren't showing up. So maybe we should just like, you know, put a pause on it till we can regroup. And then Fusion Superplex had the Dragon Ball Z movie and surrounded by like hundreds of people. And it's like, no, there's an avenue here. We just need to do better. So we actually just like took all of our savings and we said, okay, we're going to gamble it away. And the next event where like we just revisited our marketing, revisited our product offering and everything like that. And 60 people showed up. And so then we were like, okay, well, let's just keep doing whatever this is that we're doing. Like every event is like an experiment. It's like, do you guys like this? Okay, you do. Let's try something else until we have our bigger convention, like with a Bahamian spin on things.
Okay. So because obviously I've heard about the stories about how it began in the backyard. I don't know if you saw when Lord Jaylin Willard first came to the Geek Out in 2019 and interviewed Shannon, and she sort of gave some information about how it started as a movie night in the backyard. It grew into taking up the Dundas Black Box area about almost a year or so later.
Yeah,
but
we quickly outgrew that space.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to hone in on the coworker venture days. I think those maybe was some foundational days for you guys where you worked out a lot of different things.
Which venue are you speaking about? Because one
the
of
venture
those
co-working and as well as Chesapeake.
I have no comment on Chesapeake, but I will say venture co-working was one of our saviors. I would say it's so sad that they didn't get to survive the pandemic, but I must say I don't know where we would be if it wasn't for venture co-working.
So what made y'all think about using those spaces initially?
Cost. As a small business, you have to balance your costs. Like if you think you're going to get in business and just make money within the first 3 years, you're delusional.
Of course.
Like this is a long-term investment. You don't just put money and expect every single dollar to come back out. You're going to be going into your personal pocket for a while, making ends meet. And venture co-working was one of those venues that was willing to work with us and our tiny little dollars to make it work. They hosted tickets. So they would actually, one of their secretaries would host the ticket sales at no extra cost. Like they could have said, okay, you know, like a lot of other venues tried to do to us. They would say, oh, well, we're going to host your tickets, so we need $150 just to host the tickets. And then like it was just a lot of different battles with different venues, and venture co-working was definitely one of the best venues that we've had because they just really wanted to see us succeed. And also the owner played Yu-Gi-Oh, so that was a plus. yes.
Because I saw from the notes going into that era around 2018, this is when you started to expand not just by showcasing movies, but having video game consoles there, getting into the gaming aspect, as well as inviting one special cosplayer.
Oh, yes. I remember Cinemorphosis. I love them. So this was around the time where we actually met Adam. Adam had contacted Edward and he wanted his community to grow. I'm not exactly sure what he had said, but I remember we met in the food court of the mall at Marathon.
Okay.
We sat down and we were talking about growing our individual communities and trying to make it, you know, just trying to get ahead because we each had like 20 people, you know, at the time. Us 60, I think he had 40. And so trying to just like come to terms with, okay, how is this going to work? Okay, well, you'll be in charge of gaming. I will advertise your company and everything like that. And whatever you say as it comes to gaming goes. And we'll just make sure that the last Sunday of the month is sacred, because that's the day, like that is Geek Out's day. And from then on, we were just like working together. That's when we had gaming, because as much as I play video games, I'm not much of an avid gamer. You know, when you hit your 30s, it's kind of like eeny, meeny, miny, you. So you guys gotta like go in the shoebox under the bed for a little while, you know. So Adam that's when we met Adam. So when you see that we started gaming, that was exactly when we met Adam. And he started bringing his consoles and hosting the tournaments. And I would make sure, supply the prizes and everything like that. And he would supply the consoles. And it was just been a beautiful relationship ever since.
Indeed.
You have any question?
Yeah, no, I saying that was a beautiful relationship, because gamers is the second biggest, probably the highest demographic actually that comes to the Geek Out every.
Yeah, because some people just come.
Yeah, I think.
But we're gonna get into those people when Lord Jaylin comes through, who is the biggest demographic. So, just give me one moment. Okay. So, because I think after a while, when did Cinemorphosis as well as other cosplayers start coming around, and how did that relationship begin?
So I know Shannon had been interested in cosplaying before. When we were doing the event in the backyard, this was before we even started thinking about cosplay. And Shannon had come to us. She's like, you're doing like this whole anime thing. I would like to cosplay there. And I was like, oh, I love cosplay. So I'm going to cosplay with you too when you come to the event. So I think she cosplayed as Samus and I cosplayed as Gender Ben Mario. And that was like one of the first indoor events that we had. And it just kind of took off from there. People just started coming in cosplay. We never said cosplay, but people just was like, well, there's anime, so I'm going to cosplay, you know, and we just kind of like ride the wave with everything that people wanted. We're very customer focused. Like when customers say that they want something, I do my best to try and make it available to them, as long as I can get it there under $10 per entry.
Indeed. So all this is happening in 2018. So how y'all feeling about the business concept and how it's being received by the human society at this point?
Right, like you mean today in 2020?
No. At that time,
it
2018.
was a lot of people said I was gonna fail.
Like even after you sort of upscaled from the backyard to
even from upscaling from the backyard into different venues, it was always just a fight. You know, it was really, really hard. And if it wasn't like the support of all of my friends and people who believed in me and said, we will come and support and I will sponsor you. Very few sponsors, but like even when Bahamas wholesale agencies contacted me and said, hey, we'll sponsor these mosquito bands and everything for your event. And it's like you go to like 100 different sponsors and only one of them is willing to work with you because what you do is so niche. It's crazy. I don't even know like how I friggin' did that. Like I was just like, I look back on it like, you had a lot of energy at 26. Because that, like when I tell you every event was a battle. Like I can't tell you every single battle in detail, but I was fighting something.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So it was around this time one of the resident creators of the Homie Heroes universe where I'm from, started showing up at these events. So PG, what was your first Geek Out? And obviously I see Wednesday, Tuesday is always on a lot of the flyers and everything.
Yes, I think I started putting Wednesday, Tuesday on the flyer, not last year, but year before last, maybe?
2020.
I feel like it might have been last year.
It might have been it might have been 2020 or like the end of 2020.
I think that's what it was.
It was like around the end of 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So P. Giovanni, how was your first initial experience?
Okay, so my first Geek Out, if I could remember correctly, the funny thing was I literally saw the first flyer of the first movie showing in the backyard. And I was like, let me go. I was like, yeah, of course I'd go watch a Ghibli film, right? It was like, and it was Spirited Away because I already watched Spirited Away once. And I was like, lovely film. I'm going to go watch it. Somehow I didn't end up there for some weird reason or next.
Are you guys the dude in the Nissan Tiana who sped off?
No.
That's y'all. I know.
No,
that's
man,
y'all.
dying me.
I remember.
No.
Oh, we were sitting down and we were about to watch Spirited Away, I think. And this silver Nissan Tiana pulled up and they was like, and you could overhear them in the car. It was two dudes, and you could hear them say, "This the place?" But no, but and right off at the end was like, "Damn."
See, that's a good thing because I was coming with a gal, so couldn't have been.
Okay,
me.
it wasn't y'all.
Yeah, it wasn't me. But yeah, I know I didn't even make it like in the area that night, so I can't remember what happened. I wasn't able to make it, so the successive ones happened, and I just didn't go because I missed the first one. I was like, "No, I missed the first one. It's a Ghibli film. I won't watch anything else that's going on or whatever," right? And then I think the actually official first one I went to, I remember it was one at the Dundas. Now I can't remember if I went to one before I did a news report on the Geek Out, or maybe the news report maybe was the first one I've been to. But I do remember specifically I went to one and I did a news report at the Geek Out, and that was great. It was dope actually. Can't remember what was happening. I sure it wasn't a Pokemon one because I was already like into it by the time I went to my first Pokemon event. But I do remember, I remember at that one when I did the report, you were Misty and Shannon was Samus when I did the report. And it was a great Geek Out, honestly. It was a great board, honestly, too. And I was like, you know what? From here on out, for the culture, Wednesday, Tuesday got to be on this. And, we're going to just provide videos and short clips and stuff like that and just footage for the event because I really liked it that much. I was like, for the culture, you want to come. And plus, y'all got me into cosplaying, but I was like, if y'all cosplaying and come to this event every time, of course I could cosplay and come every time to the event. And I think the event after I came was Luigi. And from there on out, I've been to, I think, every one. I didn't stop. But yeah, it's dope.
Interesting enough. So we're about to take a quick commercial break. I think I hear Lord pulling up. This is about to get interesting.
I guess so.
But thank you all for allowing me to host so far. Spida-Bey, I gotta go save the city, as well as Mary Jane and Gwen. See y'all on the other side. Both of them.
Both of them.
Is your computer stuck in safe mode because of unsafe downloads? Are you tired of knockoff accessories that leave your device worse than before? Solve those problems and more here at Createch Bahamas, bringing tomorrow's technology to your doorsteps today.
People would ask me for an interview in the very beginning, and I would say no. I would say I'm busy, but I know.
So you was pump faking?
I wouldn't say pump faking. I just understand the society I live in.
I was lucky. I got one news interview.
That was when we were already like 100 people strong. I didn't feel like nobody was going to stop supporting me because I'm female.
But why do you think people wouldn't support you because you were... I don't think it would be support. I think it would be they trying to undermine or hate. But I wouldn't think it would be
look at what happens now that I take interviews. I'm not going to mention it, but now that I actually take interviews and people have found out that I'm female, I've gotten a lot.
Oh, for real?
I've gotten a lot of They expect it to be run by a dude, and so I never got before.
Tighten up that.
Okay,
Not
am I
that one.
allowed to curse?
I mean, we can believe her. You can sound like SpongeBob.
Ooh.
Okay, no, I talking about the bottom row. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Sometimes I wish I could go back to just being the person who wore black walking around the event. You didn't know what the hell she was doing. Because when I tell you, once people found out that I was female, like I've been getting a lot of...
So they be trying to like, oh, you don't deserve the debut. Because I feel like that's common.
They think I have an attitude. Like, okay, a lot of women talk about it. A lot of women in business talk about it. When you are a business person, you can't I mean, I wouldn't say you can't be nice, right? I love
You gotta
being
be
nice to
stern.
people, but you have to be stern because this is your product offering and you have to offer something of quality. But people aren't used to women being stern. So when I have to be stern, or let's say I can't cut up with people at the event because the power went off in a wall over there, I got to go figure out why the power is off and why these artists don't have light on their artwork, because maybe this vendor is overloading the capacitor. Like, there are so many different things. Like, people just know that they had a good time, but they don't know why, because I made sure that the power stayed on in that wall over there. Or maybe the Wi-Fi went out because water fell on the, like, when I tell you the things that just go wrong at Geek Out, like, you just kind of sit there waiting for something to go wrong so you can run and fix it. But then people come up to you, they want to cut up with you and they want to talk to you. And it's like, as much as I want to be a host, like a hostess host that looks cute and walks around and talks to people, I can't. I'm not there yet. I have to go and make sure that the vendors have power. I have to make sure that, you know, all of the garbage bins have trash bags in them, or else we're going to have a big old dirty place to clean up. And venues are already hard to find. So if you leave trash on these people's yard, you think they want to rent to you ever again? It's a lot of things that go into being a woman in business. And I'm very good at balancing that out. But I also understand that you can't control people's perception of you. So it's been hard ever since people found out that Geek Out is run by a woman, a woman and a man, because Edward Dean is equal partner with me. It's just that, I don't know, I guess I have a lot of good ideas and, you know, I tend to overshadow him. Is that the word I'm looking for?
But you're tall in stature too.
I'm tall and he's not as tall as me, so like that just, I guess that happens. But then I'm also the very organized one. I am very, very much the organized one. And you know, it's just been hard. I liked it more when they thought Shannon was running it, and Shannon would tell them, "No, it's not mine.
People still
it's
thinking
Ashley."
that.
And then I would dive behind a table,
It's
and then it's her, and then she would be pointing at a wall, and I'm just
you'd be like, "Who?"
hiding under a table because nobody knew it was me. And then they thought it was Michael, and then Michael would be like, "The craziest thing, people think I organized Geek Out." I'm like, "Really? Wow. Well, you could just let them know to email the geekout242@gmail.com."
The drop.
And then I think they thought it was you at some point too, PG.
Someone actually did?
I think someone thought it was PG at some point. And I'm just like, really now?
I think people always assume whoever introduced them to the concept first.
Right?
Because like most of the time people, like I was telling you in the car when we was coming there, I was like, when people wanted a question on Twitter about the Geek Out, they was like, go ask Justin, he probably knows or whatever. So like, you know, but thank you for coming back from the quick break. Spida-Bey had to go because, you know, I was a little bit late, but then I had to go dash and go get something right quick to be in time for, you know, this interview with Miss Ashley Adderley. Thank you for joining us again. Sorry for my tardiness.
No problem.
So Spida-Bey was telling me a little bit of where y'all left off. So my initial, and it's a lot we got to get into, my initial entrance to the Geek Out. First, I was seeing, well, obviously I seen it on PG status, and I probably asked them like, what is this? And then my geek journey is sort of interesting because October 2018, or around August, September 2018, I had started working on my first cosplay. And it wasn't because I saw what was going on anyway. I just was like, bro, I trying to feel better about my life. I trying to get out this creative rut. Let me go. I'm inspired by this movie I saw earlier this year and everything that stands for. Let me make this costume and take pictures for my birthday. So lo and behold, Shannon would tell me at around the same time, that's when the whole cosplay element was started getting intertwined with the Geek Out, because she sort of, I saw a post because I Facebooked this post where she was like, she saw my Panther and was like, oh, there's other Bahamians doing this. And then that's when her whole line came out. So, you know, obviously that was like a one-shot thing for me. Went to work in my Panther costume, and then, you know, that was it. So fast forward, I was focusing on my other brands at the time, and I had started Erryting Kool. So I had started from a distance, just seeing the go build, see venture co-working. Then I would be like I don't know why in my mind I was in I should go check that out for whatever reason, but I just would see it and just be like, okay, and then see it again, and then just be like, okay, and then see it again, and then see it again, and then probably when I started seeing Shannon cosplaying and things like that, I reached out to her because I was like, this would be cool to cover as me trying to be a cultural connoisseur. Let me do something to where let me reach out and try to understand what's going on here and this phenomenon. So I reached out. I think she was like, yeah, you could come interview me at the Geek Out. I remember pulling up with all my equipment, and I was like, yo, I think I called trying to know when to come into the front door, because I was like, yo, I came to talk with the organizer, the Geek Out, whatever. I was like, they was like, who you meeting? And I was like, I think her name is Shannon. And then they went to get Shannon. Shannon brought me through. We set up in a little foyer. It was me and then my friend at the time. And we set up that little light. People kept on bumping the tripod. That's when I only had one camera angle. So
I remember that Geek Out.
I remember that.
Because I was just I remember after that, I was like, Shannon, the next time you get an interview, you can't be in the walkway.
Oh, man. So, and I remember being there because that's when I met Knox for the first time in the bathroom. Me, because I had brought 2 costumes. I just see Knox.
He stayed in the bathroom.
The food in his suitcase, and I was like, but this be hard. He just, and he's like, yeah, but I was like, bro, this is dope. And people watched the episode and it was like, yo, that's the happiest you ever looked, or whatever. You could see it on your face. And I was like, yeah, I felt like I was in heaven for a quick second. And, I didn't stay long because I just did the interview. And then I went home. Oh, I can't remember where I went. Anyway, so fast forward, to me, my favorite Geek Out. This the Scouts Hall in February 2020, and I feel like that was monumental for me because it was this is the first Geek Out. PG had debuted as Sonic. This when Cadus was on trial as Batman.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I can't remember what the situation was.
Oh,
Batman,
he was
something.
He was like a bad superhero. I think.
Yeah, or
something like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, technically, Batman is an anti-hero,
Right.
but
Yeah.
He caused more damage than
yeah. And then that's when Overall was there, and a couple other things, and I was like, and I came there as regular, like something like this, and I was like, for 2020, actually I had to make a goal for 2020. I was going to cosplay more, just create more, and then obviously the pandemic happened, so but yeah, that's what really just catch me up to the whole phenomenon happening, and then just being a part of the group and just hearing all these different stories. And when did I can't remember when me and you met for the first time.
I can't recall that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's small talk or whatever, but yeah. But what I've seen, and I think I told you in the car, when it came to just from a creative standpoint, I felt coming back home in 2017, I felt it was a whole creative revolution and the Geek Out was just a part of that, because you already had more Bahamian artists, no matter what medium, had started branching or doing things on their own. And I just felt like, okay, the Geek Out is another facet to that. How you feel about that?
I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but I do think the Geek Out is one of us is a staple in the art community to a certain extent. And now we've started encompassing musicians and musical artists. Some great things we had planned for 2020 that just didn't get to happen. We're going to try and get them again for 2022, acts and things like that. But yeah, I don't know anyone that supports the art community, like any art community, because I remember, because I would like draw my own manga and stuff like that. when
Also,
I
you're
was
a manga
younger.
artist too?
I
Oh my
am
goodness.
not a manga artist. I used to draw my own manga unsuccessfully. I got like to page 10 where I'm like, I can't.
Okay.
And I remember just like looking for different avenues, sending my little comic strips to the newspaper, being rejected everywhere when it came to just being an artist. Them having almost impossible standards, you know, like you have to have 100 comic strips before we even publish your first one, you know, or whatever their standards were, and just making it so hard for artists to just make $1. And so one of the things that I wanted to do with the Geek Out was to sponsor those artists so that they can essentially have a monthly outlet. Like they know that if they make art this month, they can sell it at the end of the month.
Okay.
And then they know that if they put in the work, like, oh, one of my favorite artists at the Geek Out is Rachel. Like she always has like Geek Out exclusive stuff. So she'll post things on her Instagram and she would say, you can't order it now. You have to come to the Geek Out if you want any of these products. She hand crochets all of her merchandise.
Throw the Pikachu.
Shout out to Rachel.
Throw the Pikachu.
Shout out to Rachel.
Rachel.
Ernestine, I love Ernestine's
This
art.
is amazing.
It's a lot of aesthetic melanin power. I love it. One of my
That's the shot
favorite
right up there,
pieces.
too, eh?
Oh.
That's it
Oh
there?
yeah, that's her.
Right.
Yeah, that's
We got to
her
show
art
that
right there.
We can
Listen,
take
if
a-
y'all want
we
to
can take a
give us
separate
art
shot.
pieces for the set of any shows we do, we welcome it.
Real.
Like, you know, we like things.
I love
Yeah,
her
I can take a
artwork.
separate shot to you, and then you can put it in when she's
One
in.
of my favorite pieces from Ernestine is this black girl just drooling with her afro and this sunflower like kind of
Why is she
background.
drooling?
I don't know, but it's sexy. I love it. I
I
just
guess while
love
we
it.
out of let's pick up Shannon do it.
Yeah, Shannon just started offering Sovereign Comics and just trying to just create an outlet for artists so that I don't know. I just know the rejection I felt as an artist.
Yeah, I
And
think every artist, that's why, you know, a lot of times, and I was telling you, like, people think it's weird for me. Well, they have me at this, whatever status they think they have me at. It's weird for me to engage publicly into geek culture and the cosplay, but it's just another subset of the art community. Like, I'm in film, I'm in media, I'm in this, music, art, It's just another subset of the arts and creative culture. So
one thing I'll tell you is that a lot of people, when you have the sheep, essentially, you're the people who follow the status quo and follow the line, like the ants following the scent. And even with ants, they can end up in like that death cycle, right? Just following one another, marching till the day that they die. And people who leave that death cycle are always going to be looked at as weird and are always going to be looked at as someone who is crazy. I mean, that's what happened to me when I started the Geek Out. You're going to fail. Why would you do this? Never my parents. My parents were always supportive of me.
but it was the people
It
that
was- it
who
was
never
all-
would try to do anything.
Exactly. It was
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
the people who would never try to do anything different, you know? And when you stick with it, it's years later that people look at it and be like, wow, you're so awesome and things like that. And I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of makes you want to roll your eyes, but I mean,
No, you can roll your eyes because it's like you should.
I'll roll my eyes.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Oh, thank you. And then I'll be like, because it's frustrating. It's that you had to put in so much work to get to where you were, and you were telling people that anime was cool for decades, and now it's like anime is cool. I was telling you this. They
Right.
kill children in this thing.
Right.
Like they eat children in some of these shows.
Like everybody is, and I think I spoke because we've had multiple episodes on like fame and geek culture where, like, you know, it's like the revenge of the nerds. Now everybody into anime, everybody into this,
Which is fine.
that.
I have no
and I
problem
think
with
obviously,
that.
I think
Right.
the boom of the MCU sort of made people be more accepting to that because it was like a comic book like movie or any entity, even the animation, because people love Invincible, and then Invincible is a complete animation, but just because it told a real life story and real life issues, but it's still sort of comical and having all these superpowers, it's like, okay, I can still relate, I can still enjoy this. So I think that's what broke down the barrier. Now I think the final barrier for a lot of people is actually participating instead of just being a spectator.
Yeah.
I think what tends to happen is people come to the event and then they know cosplay is cool, but it's when they get there and they see how much fun the cosplayers are having. Because if you ever come to any Geek Out, it's not the gamers, it's not the artists, it's the cosplayers that are just having the most fun. Swinging their fake swords around, fighting each other, and just
that's why I like Scout Sword. They was literally fisting it out in the yard.
They fisted it out in the yard, and I'm just like, should we stop them? And we're like, no, I think they're okay. Leave them alone. Did any of the swords real? No? Okay, cool.
Right.
This is why there are no katanas allowed at the Geek Out.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but you can't bring
You're not
No, but anyway, I think
someone always sneaks in with it, and we're trying to solve that as an issue.
I mean, I know it is, but
whenever we do see it, we tell them to put it in the car because something is
bound to happen.
like
Me,
cosplayers,
no
they
liable.
start to cosplay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what cosplay is, not just about putting on a costume.
It's
It is
playing.
that
Yeah.
character.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when the fake swords come out, I don't need nothing
Yeah.
happening. I don't need no like,
Yeah.
I can't someone just gets cut.
Yeah. You don't want to have that situation on you.
But most times people come to the Geek Out in their anime hoodie or their anime shirt.
Yeah.
And then they're
I don't
like,
think there'd be enough though. It'd be some, like for me in the past, what I've done was if I didn't have a costume, I just wouldn't come. Right? Because I always would feel like, bro, if I gonna fully enjoy this, I need to be like in some form of costume. So, but then obviously me growing to understand like closet cosplay or, even just dressing down and coming like with a comic shirt and just, depending on what I doing that day, that still could be an enjoyable experience.
Exactly.
But I think the most fun you would ever have was I think the fun 2 times, like the pirate ship, I thoroughly enjoyed. As well as like, when we did the roast of Spida-Bey, and I get to see Spida-Bey sort of rap battling everybody, and they had the drops and things like that. So I appreciated that from that perspective. So, and even when we did the speed dating Professor Utonio,
Right.
like, and just being in the robe, and someone was like, y'all just be doing the voices too? I'm like, yes.
Right.
Like, I ain't about to dress like this and not act and know that all the characteristics. Well, that's sort of corny. I'm like, no, but that's what you do it for.
But see, those are the people who lack joy in their life.
Yeah.
So it's okay. We're corny.
Right.
It's just funny because, like I say, a lot of people think you have to cosplay to come. But that's not true. You can come in. I remember posting this girl. She just wore a white shirt, jeans, and she had a plank of wood with the
I
face.
saw that.
And I was just like, that is just so clever.
Yeah.
And you can just be creative with it. Your cosplay doesn't have to cost more than $5. Sometimes my cosplays are just me with my sewing machine, with some red cloth that I found in my sewing kit, But one thing for sure is that I've always found that everybody comes and tries to cosplay at least once because they come to the event in normal clothes. Because I always say, come in normal clothes, come in cosplay. This is a judgment-free event. You are allowed to be free and you're allowed to be who you are. You don't have to go fake for anybody. Like if you want to come here, like I remember one dude did a gender bend Sailor Jupiter or Sailor Venus.
Oh, that was recently?
Yes.
Yeah, Trevon came.
Right.
Me and him drove together.
Yes, he came like in a gladiator-esque
Yeah.
Sailor Jupiter, and it was awesome. And it's like, I love to see creativity. If you're gonna come in your sweatshirt and sweatpants, you're welcome. If you're gonna come as a gender bend gladiator Sailor Scout,
Is there like
then
a dress code? Because like, what if someone come like as Frankie, like pre-time skip Frankie? Or actually
pre-time skip Frankie is who again?
Well, Frankie from One Piece, basically, when you have his shirt with the buttons open and like a jock strap on.
Oh no, they wouldn't. I mean, there are children here.
Yeah, because I'm like, no, because let me tell you what I realized too, bro. Some of them cosplayers, they be pushing
They be
the
pushing
boundaries,
the
and it's like,
boundaries.
bro, you can't tell how y'all get me allowed to post these pictures on Instagram, bro. Like this is almost close to softcore porn. Like I can almost see everything, and it's like, like like I just be like, nah, bro, like but
Yeah, cosplay is not mandatory, but once people come, they see just how fun it is just to sit down in your house and put together a piece and then enter it in the competition, and how people just love what you've produced. And it's a really liberating feeling of being able to create something in your house for the next 3 weeks, and then showcasing it in front of people and people just cheering for you.
yeah, I think that's the most exhilarating thing. Even though I won't win, listen, when I come out with this new heat, I better be winning at least 4 or 5 competitions in a row. Because I tired, I guess, marching up, giving my little runway poses and spins, and I don't get no reaction, not even a consolation prize.
My.
You gotta fight Knox for that.
Yeah, true.
No. I got some things that can give Knox a run for his
And
money.
I tell you, that boy flies his sword over from Freeport.
That's why I know. That's why I had to ask him. I was like, bro, how you get this on the plane? He's like, bro, I just wrap it up. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I planned
he does not build them here. He builds them in Freeport and
yeah.
brings them over. That Inuyasha sword, oh my god.
that was dope.
It was
And
nice.
the cloud one was dope too.
But Knox probably one of my favorite persons because he just everything he do, like from that first encounter when I think he was cosplaying as either Boruto and Natsu, or I can't remember. It was 2 characters he was changing in and out.
Something from Attack on Titan, I believe, eh?
No, it was no. I ain't talking about recently. I talking about the first time I saw him in 2019.
Oh, okay.
And like I was just like, this way just come to the Geek Out suitcase full of cosplay. Just,
Man.
You all see one scene? Okay, I can switch this around.
Dedication strong.
All
He
right,
stay in the bathroom changing. And
gotta
I love
Knox.
it every single time.
So
Except for Nino.
Yeah.
I don't know why does everybody hate Nina so much.
No, he.
Yeah.
Whew, I was like, whoa. Okay.
2 thumbs down.
I don't normally have rules on cosplay, but I
2
think we
thumbs
need
down.
some.
Oh, man, because everybody was like, "Don't bring it," and I had to laugh when they was like, "Yo, he did it before. you can't enter this again."
You get man, if he enters that again, I don't know, bro.
No, Shannon already told him he could have entered again. I was like, I was dying in that show.
Oh, Lord.
I was like, where was I? And I sort of regret sort of missing some of those earlier moments because I'm like, they sound hilarious as hell. So
some stuff is just one of a kind,
Right.
know. There's something we try to just make the event different because it happens 12 times a year.
yeah.
So you try to make it as different as possible.
So actually, to put a pin right there, what made you say, let me try to do this every month?
Marketing,
Because I mean, people have like one con a year, and it probably be.
but that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's more of a mini con in a country that doesn't have a convention. So we are working towards our large scale convention, which is coming soon. But
We know the T, but we can't say it.
but it's like this is a country that I love my country. Let me first start that out. I
No.
love my
Give them the
country.
bad first.
I love my country,
Uh-huh.
but they are so in a box. Like
Yeah.
they are just like, this is what we doing. We're gonna drink, we're gonna smoke cigars, and we gonna
Shake at the bar.
shake at the
cocktail
bar,
every
and
weekend.
that's fun. I do that too. But there are so many different experiences available out here in Nassau that are dying because nobody supports it. So if you only support smoking cigars and shaking up at the bar, guess what's only going to be available? Smoking cigars and shaking up at the bar, you know? And like, I can't remember what I started this thought with, but
You love your country.
I love my country.
Give them the bad, man. Go deep.
But they're very, very
Close-minded.
laggards. Laggards. In marketing, we call it the early adopters. You have the influencers and laggards. And it's those early adopters and influencers that basically help prop up your business till the laggards are like, okay, well, we'll support you now. But in the Bahamas, I feel like a lot of people are laggards.
Yeah.
No, it is,
Instead of
yeah.
being early adopters and influencers.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't get, and so the early adopters and influencers that you do get can't properly sustain your business until
the
the
laggard.
laggards
jump
come.
on board, right.
Hence we do it
Every
12
month,
times
right.
a year. We try to be as low cost as possible, which is why one of the reasons why I bigged up Venture Co-working, because they were a big reason as to why we survived. Even though we don't get 112 bar to come to the event anymore, them too. You know, they were a big part as to why we were able to survive those early years, because just what we did was so different, and going to different sponsors, still going to different sponsors and trying to get people to say, hey, this is something that happens all over the world, but just not here. They don't see the opportunity. Till I make the international con and they'll be banging down my doors.
What a secret.
I think we've been making some headway with us. Because obviously, you know, me, you, PG, and Kiddish and Shannon are, you know, with our separate brands, we're sort of coming all together as trying to make the whole culture bigger. And I think we've been doing that because we started not just doing this at the Geek Out, but spreading it in other spaces and vacuums, showing up to the movies. And it's 100. I actually really hope, praying for the day that 100 us. I mean, let's say after B Fusion, someplace 100 us just show up. Like, I have this big vision. We downtown, like, you know, we have the cameras out, and like it's almost like an end game scene. And obviously, I vision myself in front of the procession, and I'd be like, Avengers, and then have that, you know, that pause. And then the cameras come all around. And then we say, you know, I say assemble, all let's charge down Bay Street. Like, we going down on Bay. Like, you know, just capture that from like the drones and all these different angles or whatever. But I think we can soon get there. But I was going to say.
Flash mob.
Yeah, that too. So I think more people are coming around. I think more prominent faces, because I see, you know, like I always feel like when I started seeing a lot of people I know was like, oh, I like to get into that. Oh, I didn't know we do this. I still getting, oh, I didn't know there's Bahamian cosplayers. I'm like, yeah. Oh, for real, where y'all be? Right at the Geek Out. And we sometimes go up to these movies, even like with Kaden. Shout out to Kaden. When it was her first time at the Geek Out and her first time cosplay, it's like, we always do this. Or whatever. This has been a very consistent thing that we always get into, you know, sort of hang out. You know, we have our little community. But speaking on community, let's get into the tea. So, what's been the ups and downs of the Geek Out?
Just when you're the first to do something, it's just very hard. This isn't a beaten path. You know, it's a forest, it's bushes, and you have to beat that path. And then when you're finished beating that path, you know, someone tries to undermine you, you know, like, you didn't beat that path, I beat that path. And it's like, okay, well, you know, peace be with you, you know, and, you know, continue to beat your path. And then people just getting angry. Because, I mean, for me, that's the way I operate personally. If me and you are bucking heads, I just don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't have the mental capacity. Like I say, I have to do so many things poorly. I do so many things for the Geek Out poorly. I don't have the mental capacity to deal with a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's been some of the downs. Like I said, some of the downs have been trying to find sponsors who give prizes that are worthwhile for the cosplayers and the gamers. Some of the downs have been venue acquisition during a pandemic, trying to find loopholes, in order to host the event during a pandemic, still following COVID protocols.
I mean, they sort of loosening them up a little bit.
They're loosening them up now, but last year it was like, okay, only restaurants are able to operate.
Right.
So I can't have the event unless it's at a restaurant. And a restaurant isn't going to let you use their venue
For free.
not for free. They'll let you use it for free. But even if they use it for free or not, or you pay them, they have to have your bar. They're not going to give you the bar. They're not, some of them will give you food. And then so having to look certain vendors that supported you for years and tell them you can't come yet. I'm working on getting us a venue where everything can come back in full swing. But right now, if we want to have it now, we have to have it in this way. And then trying to get customers to understand that, hey, I can't bring Geek Out back in the way that it used to be because of the COVID protocols. I mean, there were just a lot of downs. Some of the ups is every single event. Every single event is worth it because all the stress that I go through, you always have someone who says, that was the best time of my life. I'm coming to the next one. Every new person that comes, every new person that comes becomes a regular face. They're not like there and they're like, oh, I hated the Geek Out. People are there, and they're just like, how do I become a part of it? So it's nice that these people who say we're corny, it's nice that these people who have always been like, oh, I'm not going to do that. Cosplay? What is that? That come and then they see it. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like that meme with Homer Simpson as he goes into the bush and reemerges. These same people who say, oh, that's corny. I'm not going to do that. And then they come and they just try to check it out. They're there to talk crap. But they come there, they check it out, and then they just see how non-judgmental it is. Because a lot of the times we go to these events, I love Bahamian events, but sometimes you go to these events and it's just a big judgment. It's a big judgment fest. We just looking people up and down.
A certain
judging
event was like that. I don't recall their name.
I know the event, bro.
And I've been there one time, and I just gone and I was like, why everybody just standing up watching everybody? I was like, bro, this the last time. And y'all don't even dancing, no nothing.
Exactly. Because if you get up there and dance, they're going to judge you. Oh, you can't dance. Oh, you can dance. Oh, I don't like your outfit. Oh, she really shouldn't wear that hair. Like, you come there and you have a girl dressed up as Seducer. Like, her hair is in the air with hangers or however she got pipe cleaners. I don't know how she got that to get her hair to stand up in the air like Seducer from the Powerpuff Girls. And it's like you see that judgmental atmosphere. And like the Homer meme, they go into the bush and they reemerge with their Naruto headband. And it's like, it's just really nice that even though you get all of this negative feedback from people who never come to the event, that when these same negative people who come to the event finally come, they take it back. So in the end, you can't control people. You can only continue to focus on yourself and growing your event. I want to have the first international comic and art convention here in the Bahamas, and my awesome team members like Edward, Shannon, Adam, Staniel, Jameek, Michael, everybody, Hiram, everybody is what's making it possible.
So now let's get down
and PG. I don't know if you and PG. It's because you're right there. I didn't.
So let's talk about these incel figures.
Oh God.
So because you say, well, obviously we know, because I have been to the Geek Out multiple times. We know it's a safe space. Well, it is a safe space. But, we have a
personality type.
A personality, the quote unquote losers. That, who be trying. Well, I wouldn't even say they be trying. It's the stereotype, and they not reinform. They what's the word? I'm looking for? Reinforce the stereotype, and they sort of, I guess, for lack of a better word, they're now in their quote unquote world, but then where they feel probably I have some social hierarchy, and then they try to. Hey, maybe because not in real life I could talk to girls. Maybe here I could talk to girls. But it's still, you're going to get the same result. So, and I said it to say because, earlier you was telling me, a lot of the girls sometimes don't have favorable experiences because sometimes the guys, because they're socially inept, don't know how to talk to them.
The girls love the cosplay part. They don't like the hit on part, and I mean, I get it. It can make you feel uncomfortable. And it's just something that we've always had to let girls know, like, this is a female run event. I don't know if y'all know, I was telling you in the car, we always try to make sure all the girls know that this is a female run event. You don't have to worry about a male promoter just brushing you off. If you tell us that someone is bothering you or something is the case, it will be handled. And I can't tell you how many times I've been angry with the girls because they'll let me know after the event is finished. And I'm just like, well, how am I supposed to do something about it now? The event is finished, but we always let people know that cosplay does not equal consent. We always let women know that if there is someone making you feel uncomfortable, let us know. We will take care of it. But I mean, that's with any event, especially in the Caribbean. Just going to different events. Some guys, after they've had one or two drinks, will make you feel uncomfortable. And that's just the reality that women tend to face. Doesn't mean it's right, but it's just the reality that we face.
Because I was still in here, I was like, bro, like, I'm glad that, I think it was in reference to something, or I guess the change in venue. I was like saying, was I really like the last location? That
the ship or the...
Well, the ship and the hall on...
Yeah, that's our new home.
Okay. All right, I like that spot. And I was like, like, they could, really always, be welcoming to us. And like, we that jugga crowd where also when my guests stop or shot, but it's like, why would that happen now when that's never happened in the last 3 years? Like, anybody like have that energy, and that ain't the atmosphere for that either. So it's like, we fun loving people. We only like together, and be in our nerd glory and then go home.
Yeah, I mean, it's also about past experiences. Some people get triggered by certain things because it reminds them of something that happened in their past. So we did have an incident at the event where someone was triggered by something that happened in their past. Not that something bad happened, but this thing that had happened reminded them of something that had happened to them in the past. So we had to comfort her in the bathroom, and you just don't know what anybody's life is,
Right.
When you approach people correctly. You do not know what battles I don't know what battles you're going through right now.
Bro, I battled till you don't see all these scars.
I thought she was going to say Pikachu because she's looking.
Pikachu have a lot of scars too.
Specifically, you went through a battle with this Pokemon and that.
Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, it's a little. I remember being socially awkward as a child too. So it's not like
No, but it ain't just so. I don't want to get on them for that because y'all can't tell us when we having, me and PG. I don't know if we may be posting more speed dating events in the future. I don't know. That's up to her. Yeah. Ask Ashley.
It's up to
if y'all. Okay. So we had a speed dating event, not that long ago, and all it do was just like, it's a sausage fest. But based on what Ashley's been telling me today, I'm like, bro, of course it's gonna be like this because y'all been insulting and showing the way, and it's like, don't be the stereotype. Like your geek them, but don't try not enforce the negative stereotypes. Be cool. Be like, I tell PJ we should have like how to get a gal booth at the Geek Out?
I think so. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even especially before people realized it was me who was organizing the event with my partner Edward Dean.
Nah.
Like, dudes would come up in my face. So, well, then who's stronger, Goku or Gohan? And, it's like this question and that question. And I'm like, bro, what's the name of the main character in Madoka Magica? Like, you can't tell me these things, and I'm not gonna sit here and validate you just because you only know about Goku and Hamtaro.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not gonna sit here and question your love of anime. Why would you come here and question mine? I didn't see you do that to your bros over there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like really trying to get girls to know that this is a safe space for you too. Like, just come to me if anything.
Listen, this whenever it's Jesse Sama there is a safe space. You under my lordship. See they saying? No, but for real, like, I always say, and there's people like that, you know, in the greater geek universe, whether it be gaming, cosplay, or whatever. It's like, you know, people is quote unquote gatekeepers, but it's like, from like in real life, I don't want to say you were a bum, but but it's like, you know, all that isn't necessary. Everybody just come for a good time. It ain't supposed to be judging. I'm just trying to escape reality. Life is hard enough.
It is.
Or whatever. I just trying to come out of reality for a few hours and then go back home and enjoy everything else. And I think that's the most important part, you know. But what's the next hub for you and the Geek Out and any other ventures that you have? Because you have a whole bigger company called Hentai Productions.
Well, yeah, Hentai Productions does a lot of different events. So we do Bahama Mamas and Korean dramas. We have Geek Out Kids, and we have the Geek Out, and then there are a few other events. We have the Massive Con that we want to do. Still finalizing a name for that. The once a year con that we're gonna do, but you know, just coming out of COVID, you can't just go steamrolling into everything you were always doing. You have to kind of stick your toe in the water a little bit and see if we're ready. Because to be honest, you know, the pandemic has been tough for everyone. So trying to put shows and activities on the docket for Geek Out with the limited number of people that have been coming since we started again, you know, it's difficult. It is difficult. But, you know, we're here to stay. We're just going to have to maybe cut a few acts, maybe not have a musical performance this month, but have a musical performance next month and just try to, I don't know, balance things out until the next one. I know this month is the villainous arc. So, I mean, you can dress as a hero, but it's the night of the villains.
The night of the villain. And
next month is going to be...
I mean, you can announce it now because it's probably coming out that
sports anime, if I'm not mistaken. Is that isekai? No. Is that isekai?
Sports anime, so you know the space genres will be in the building.
Sports anime. So
that's it.
I have to look at my phone. I have the full year schedule on my phone. I just can't remember. I think April is sports anime, but for sure March is the villainous arc.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you so much for joining us after. I just recently asked you, but still, we finally get the person behind the Geek Out. When you freak out and leak out, you got the Geek Out.
I don't think you should be leaking out. You're a freak out. I love a little freak, but I don't know if you should be leaking.
Well, thank you again, Ashley, for joining us on this good audio adventure. I think, you know, this should explain a lot. And, you know, actually I wanted to do a whole like reimagining of the whole like No Way Home scenario where all us was dressed up. But another time. But thanks again for joining us on Erryting Kool. Peace and love. Yeah, you'll see.